What's that? Supposed to look like you cut your neck?
No, that's supposed to look like I'm really scary.
Okay. Cool. Rowan, do you remember why you said the man flew like an airplane? Was it because he had his arms out?
Yeah.
You sure? Hi, my name's John Birmingham, and I'm the toddler's dad from the Toddler Sees Ghost video. I'm here to tell you the truth about why we believe our son saw the ghost at that time. Well, it was a time in our lives when my wife, we would write down on paper things that we wanted to achieve in life, and we draw pictures of it and try to get motivated to achieve those things. One of the things she wanted was to be able to time travel. Another thing she wanted was to communicate with and talk with ghosts and spirits. So another one was like 2 babies or 3 babies or something like that, and now we have 2. And so it's these things that she wanted to achieve, like one day get $1 million, stuff like that she wanted. Mine, I had different things I wanted. Mine were more realistic. Hers were more supernatural and weird. And one of the things she did was invite the ghosts into our lives with everything she had. There was a time when she'd turn on the TV and put the static on the TV, and she'd get in front of the TV and say, please talk with us, communicate with us, and then she'd hear like a word come in the fuzz, she'd hear a word, and we heard different smells. Like one time this really strong smell came up that smelled like a mechanic. And it smelled like a manly mechanic, and it was just clear. She could really smell it. Then one time we literally smelled a fart, like a bad smelling fart, but we both were like, where did that come from? And neither of us did it. And the other thing that happened during this time, when she invited just any ghost, any spirit with all her might, she invited with her will and everything. She said, please come to us, come into our lives. And it was after that, and she wanted it with everything she had, it was after that we started seeing these things. We really saw them. The only thing we got on tape was our son Rowan seeing the man that he talks about. But there's other things that I saw. I have never hallucinated in my life visually. I've never seen something with my eyes that wasn't really there. One time I went to sleep on the couch with the lights off. My wife closed the door so I would stay asleep in the living room. In the living room there's a sliding door to the hallway, and she closed me in there. And it was during that time when she invited the ghost into our house. For the first time in my life, I woke up terrified, and I saw a woman's hovering head in the dark, in the corner in the dark, and it was like a woman's, and I was so scared of it because I couldn't tell if it was really old or young or what. I could just see like hollow black things for its eyes, and the rest of it was just like a whitish blue, clear, sort of, not clear, but translucent. You could see through it a little bit. It was like a whitish blue, see-through type of stuff. I don't know, but it was a face. It was a woman's face that I saw in the corner, and it terrified me. It was like hovering, and there was like material, like it was almost kind of like something that you might have seen like in Ghostbusters a little bit, but it was so faint I could barely see it, and it was just terrifying. It terrified me. That's the best word I used to describe it. And I just screamed and went, and like with like a man screaming, and she came into the room and turned the lights on, and it disappeared. And that was the first time I've ever visually hallucinated in all my life. All through teens and stuff, people do marijuana and stuff like that. I've never seen anything. I'm not saying if I did any of that stuff when I was a teenager or in college or whatever, but I had never seen anything until that time when she invited the spirits in our house. Then one time during this same time when the spirits must have been around us or something, or in our house, we pulled up and I felt, oh God, something is definitely here, and I felt we're gonna see the ghosts again, and I just knew it. I had a feeling, and as soon as we pulled up in the driveway, it looked like a cat head. But it was like higher up than a cat would be. It peered around the corner of our fence in the dark, and it looked like a cat head, but it was the same color, that whitish blue translucent sort of material, and it was all like a white blue color, and it peered around the corner of the thing, and I was like, whoa, I see that. And I actually saw this little thing come around there, and I was sure it was like a cat head or something. I didn't know what it was. And then I'd start every night. I'd be so terrified during that time, after she invited the ghost in our life to go to sleep. I'd wake up terrified in the middle of the night and have bad dreams, and I'd see in the corner of my eye, like if the room was really dark, I'd see things like moving in the corner of my eye, like little lines or something, or on the wall, like it was like some essence of something there that was moving, and I'd look at it and it wouldn't be there, but it would be like in the corner of my eye. And I wasn't taking any drugs or any of that stuff. I didn't do anything like that, and it was like a terrifying time in our lives. And then we asked them to come and leave. We asked them to leave with all their might. And at one point, we got these friends of ours who were very into Christianity to bring over their minister. And we live sort of in the Bible Belt in the South. We brought all these Christian people in, and they said prayers and blessed our house. They put up Christian things in every corner. These little little cards that said "bless this place" and stuff like that. And they put holy water or something. I don't know what they did. They said prayers, and they made us verbally. We held hands, and we asked for the spirits to leave, the bad spirits. And they called them demons, for lack of a better word. But I look up demon in the Bible, and it's not like necessarily something with horns or something like a demon. But a demon has historically, for maybe 1,000 years or 2,000 years or whatever, has been used to describe a bad or evil spirit, like an entity that's bad and sticks on people and messes up their lives. And during that time, our lives were hellish. They were horrible. We had almost gotten a divorce so many times. It was just really bad. Our lives were just hell after that time. And that was one of the reasons they got crazy. Like, we almost died. It was terrible. And that was one of the reasons why we brought in the Christian people to bless our house. And after that, it was fine for like a long time, and it just got better and better since then for the most part. But yeah, so that's it. That's the true story about what happened behind the Toddler Sees Ghost video. And if you just Google Toddler Sees Ghost, if you haven't seen it yet, you'll see our son talking about it. It was about 2.5 years ago when we filmed it. And it's all true. This is what we really believe. That was our son talking with his own real words. We didn't put any ideas or anything. I mean, it was his real. I believe that it was true. Like, I believe he really saw that man. Another thing is, we found out that slaves were buried. Slaves, because this is the South. Slaves were buried either under our house or right near our house. It's a place called the Dyerly. The Dyerly plantation was around here, and here's our house. The Dyerly house and the plantation and everything is over here, like maybe like half a mile over here. Then about a quarter of a mile over here is the graveyard where the Dyerlys are built. And we looked it up on the computer, and that's where the graveyard is, where all the Dyerlys 200 years ago, 150 years ago, that's where they're buried. And this is where the old plantation is, and our house is right about here. And the slaves are buried in somewhere that they do not know, somewhere between the graveyard and the plantation. The slaves are buried somewhere around there. So maybe that might have been it. We don't know. We don't know what the man was, but he may have been a slave from that time. Because he said he had big hair. He said he had big hair. So we thought maybe it was an African American from that time in the South when they were unfortunately they were slaves. We hate, you know, the idea that that stuff went on, but with all our hearts. And that's another thing. That's another thing that if there's anything that people say that we sound prejudiced in the video or anything, we don't have any of that in our hearts. We love all types of people. We really do. That's it. So yeah, okay. Watch the video again if you want, and that's the whole follow-up video, because we have expelled these you know, bad spirits out of our lives, and they haven't come back since then. There's none of them come back. We may do a documentary on other people who see ghosts and may have follow-up videos, but we're planning on that, but we haven't filmed anything yet. We'll probably do some follow-up videos at some point, but we don't know when. And it'll be other people that interact with the ghosts, because we are not interacting. I have one video of us going to a location. It was scary and crazy, of us sort of interacting a ghost. I may post that as a follow-up, as another ghost thing, but it's so terrifying. We don't want any part of that, or we don't want to be reminded of that stuff. We just want to go on with our lives and not have any of that in our lives anymore. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoy everything. Bye.